way to Little Sioux, Iowa, a little ways up the road from where I am now in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm going to see if we can find any trace of my mother's father's father, Archibald Rolph, his father was apparently one of the original settlers of the area when it was really nothing but a stagecoach stop along the Missouri River. So I know he's buried there, and I think his grave I'll be able to find if I work at it a little bit. Don't know if there's any other trace of him up there. We got a little bit of information about where his farm used to be, and see if we can find any sign of any of that stuff or any knowledge of him anywhere in the community. So we got the afternoon free. Let's go have a look. I'm here. Took me about an hour to get up here, and there's not much here. It's a very, very tiny town, just a few streets with mostly very beat up farmhouses and a lot of farming. I think it's mostly big commercial farming at this point. But I found my way to Murray Hill, which this area has these big formations called, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Los Hills, L-O-E-S-S hills, which I've been told are only found here in this spot in Iowa and somewhere in Paris or France, so I've heard. So I'll have to look that up. But so I'm up on top of one of those hills, and it's quite beautiful. I'll show you. What I learned was that the family originally came, Archibald Rolph's parents were born in Indiana, and they moved at some point to a county in Iowa a little north of here, and they stayed there only 1 year, and then they built a boat and got put in at the Little Sioux River north of here and floated down the river to what is now Little Sioux, but at the time was just a stage stop, just a stop on the stagecoach line. And that stage stop was called Fontainebleau. It was right on the river, and I think where I'm sitting right now is right above that stage stop. So here we are on the top of Murray Hill. It's the highest point around. Everything's flat, but these hills poke up. And you see that bridge. I think that must have been where the stage stop was, and there's a little settlement over there. And that ravine, you see, that dark stripe, that's the Little Sioux River. And looking this way to the north would have been where this family came in on their homemade boat. Came down to that stop, got out of their boat, eventually ended up living here and settling a lot of this area. Climbed up even higher up Murray Hill. It's quite a climb. What you're seeing now is what's left of the town of Little Sioux. But as you look around, when Lewis and Clark first saw this space just about 200 years ago, not that long ago, 1804, this would have all been prairie flowers, wildflowers, sunflowers, prairie grasses. Almost none of that's left because this is so fertile and it's all been farmed. These hills I'm standing on are the last place where that native vegetation is still there, and they come up into a bowl at the top of these hills, which are all farmed. Down in there you're looking down into the top of the bowl, but where I'm standing at the edge of the bowl is the extent of it, and out there the flatlands is all farm. Off in the distance there, right in the middle, you can see the Little Sioux River coming. I'm looking north, so that's coming this way from the north, passing by here over that bridge where I believe that stage stop would have been based on what I read. and heading just a few miles from here into the Missouri River from here. This is almost the end of the river. And Archie Rolph, after his family settled here, his father, Rolph, died in Indiana before the family came to this area, and he was raised by Mr. Wilfong, who was here just a short time and then moved that way over to Nebraska. But Archie stayed here. He was the age of 14 and got work, started building farms and houses and places to live, and would have lived about right where this camera is pointing, I think, if the history I read that was written in 1915 when he still lived here is accurate. He would have lived right there on that curve of the river. I hope you can see it a little bit reflecting in the video, but said he had the most luxurious house around here and the biggest and nicest farm, and it would have been pretty much this land we're looking at, just about a half a mile north of what's left of the township of Little Sioux. And he built that starting in the 1860s, and then ended up being one of the main settlers around here, big in the Masons. I think he was a local office holder in the city, and a pig farmer. He was raising hogs through here for decades. So we're going to climb a little further up the hill, see what we can see, and then we'll go see if we can find any other trace of the Rolphs around here. Well, I've been looking around Little Sioux for any trace of the Rolph name or the Wilfong name, and there's really not a lot to find so far. I'm here on a road at the base of those beautiful hills I was climbing on. I don't know what I expected to find in the town. Maybe there'd be a Rolph nursery or a library or a bakery, but look what I did find. I bet there's some names in there. Let's go find out. So I've been wandering around the Little Sioux Cemetery for a long time at this point. I've learned one thing for sure. There's a lot more dead people in Little Sioux than there are alive people. I don't have any idea where our ancestors are, but there's a lot of places to look. It's actually pretty. There's the hills. This is tucked up at the foot of them. It's a nice day here. I'll keep walking. Been here a long time. Walked all over this place. I was just about to give up, thinking either there's no Rolphs here or I was not going to be able to find them. And look what I found. You almost can't read it because it's gotten pretty dark on the stone. We've got a whole family site here. Looks like that big stone in the middle says Rolph. Here we are. There's Archie. Archibald Monroe Rolph, 1851 to 1921. This would be Emma Bell Rolph. This is Archie's wife. 1853 to 1951. And look at this. I guess these are the children. I'm not sure. Oh, Priscilla Wiltfong. That was Archie's mother. She was originally Rolph, married Rolph, who died when Archie was a baby. She remarried Mr. Wiltfong, and there she is. September 1900, at the age of 77 years, 7 months, and 27 days. Priscilla Wiltfong. So that is my grandmother's grandfather's mother. My mother's mother's father's father's mother. And who do we have here? Can't even make that one out. I'll have to come back. It's a Rolph. You can see that. Can't read it. Oh, this just says son of A.M. and E.B. Rolph. Died at 4 years, 11 months. I didn't know there were any more children. Oh my. Died 1890. So that's a daughter, another son or daughter. Oh, that's what it says. Either son or daughter of A.M. and E.B. Rolph, 1890. So they lost a lot of children young. Here's another one. Died February 2nd, 1895. Aged 3 months, 7 days, a daughter. Wasn't an easy time to live on the prairie, I guess. There's the evidence right there. Weldon, daughter of A.M. and E.B. Rolph, died 1902, aged 23 years, 3 months. I didn't know about Weldon. These are aunts and uncles. Mary Bell Crabb, 1881 to 1936. So here they are, waiting for somebody like me to find them. This is an older part of the cemetery, at the top of the hill. The hills that are there, the cemetery is tucked into the foot of the hill, and I'm sure they started burying people at the top of the hill and worked their way down. I started looking where the walking was easier. I should have started up here where the oldest part was. So that's the end of my journey to Little Sioux, Iowa. Didn't find any living family, but I found where this branch of the family is at rest. And look, there's a stepstone there into this little area. So there you have it. So I got in my car. It was bothering me why these headstones of the children who died young didn't have names on them. And I remembered over here we had Mary B, her name on the top. This one said Weldon, but there's something else on there. So I wanted to come back and see. So this first one that I couldn't make out says daughter, D-A-U, of daughter of A.M. and E.B. Rolph. Died at 21 days old in 1890. But look here. You can't read it very well. But you can feel it. That's a B. E. S. I can read those. I. E. Bessie. I think that's an A. No, it's a P. Bessie P. So that's baby Bessie P. Here's the son. You really can't read this one. You can see there's something there. That's a W. I. L. L. What is that? I. W-I-L-L-I. E. Willie. O. Willie O. So there's Willie. This one you can't read at all. What do we have here? I think that's an A. L. M. A-L-M. I. R. A-L-M-I-R. A. A-M-A-L. Almira. Almira S, I think it says. No, B. Almira B.